So, hello, my podcast family. I am back as podcaster Helen now because I have not podcast. I missed my Teen Tuesday. I'm sorry. We will definitely have Teen Tuesday next week. I had a lot going on, and I apologize for any of my teens that re-listen to my episodes, and I apologize for that. But I will definitely be back next Tuesday for Teen Tuesday. This is not about me. This is about what's happening and coming up November the 5th, our election. I feel that it's very important that we go out and vote. If you're a registered voter and you have that privilege, exercise it. Voting matters. No matter which candidate you're voting for, go and vote. Why? Because it matters. You know, so many people have that right and they say, oh, I'm not going out and vote. Wrong attitude. Because when we vote, we make ourselves heard. The wrong candidate does not get in office when we vote. I know I went and secured my vote. I said, oh my God, it is going to be crazy down here. I don't want to stand in this line, but I'm going to vote. I'm going to go vote early because I definitely know I didn't want to go out there on election day to vote. So with that being said, I got there and it was a little congested and I was like, wow, it is really thick. Girl, guys, it was not for voting. It was for the D food stamps, SNAP benefits. I said, wait a minute. The line was around the corner. I walked straight in early voting and cast my ballot. And people say, God, you know I love you, but I'm going to have to say, forget early voting. We want food stamps. And they was in the line. The voting line, I walked straight in and straight to a booth. Plenty booths was empty. They did not care that it was voting. And that's probably why the polls is messed up. Because the D-SNAP, disaster SNAP line, which like the voting line should have been or would have been if this disaster did not take place. The D-SNAP line was like way down there. The voting line was here. I walked straight in, straight to a booth to cast my early vote. Crazy, right? Yeah. Crazy. They need to go ahead. I'm going to just throw this out there, and I ain't trying to hinder nobody from getting their food because I want everybody to get their food because I need some food for my stuff being messed up when my lights was out for 3 days. But this is the key. They need to go ahead and halt that for a second coming up on voting day. That does not need to be going on voting day. D-SNAP needs to be shut down on voting day. Because if it's not shut down on voting day, I'm just exercising my right to speak, my Fifth Amendment. If it's not shut down on voting day, we're going to have a problem. And the wrong candidate might get in. So I hope that the right candidate that I want to get in, pick this message up from Helen's podcast and make a few calls. And on voting day, D-SNAP, shut down until the next day. Because if not, people want food. They need food. And I know them people is working as fast as they can. The process is really quick. But if that is still an option on November the 5th, we're going to have a problem. And the wrong candidate could get in. Now, I want everybody to have their food. You need to tell them people, everybody make a statement. Let the hours be extended for D-SNAP the day before so that they would know that on November the 5th, D-SNAP is halted until the next day so that people can go out and vote. Because for this to be a presidential election and for me to walk straight in and vote, something's wrong. Disasters happen. They do. We know that. And we want people to recover speedily from a disaster. That's why I say I don't have no damages. I'm good. Everything is la-di-da, whatever the case may be. But them DSNAP benefits, they need to stop them on November the 5th. That should be shut down. Because if it's not, people are not going to go out and exercise their right to vote. They're going to be in that line to get DSNAPs. The website, the call-in number, whatever it may be, the in-person visits need to be shut down because it's going to affect the 2024 presidential election. And we don't want the wrong person to get in. So everybody, please go and get your DSNAPs and early stand in a line so that you can be in the right line on November the 5th. That's just my stance. I feel like if you have the opportunity to vote, you should vote because voting matters. We wish that we could have voted back in the day when our ancestors couldn't even go to school. They didn't have the ability to go to school. If they was caught reading or writing, they got beat. Go out and exercise your right to vote. The DSNAPs can wait till the next day. You made it this far, you can make it one more day. And that's just my opinion from Helen's podcast. Because I want everyone, I'm so sorry, to be able to eat and have food. But I want this country to be ran by the right person. So that my seniors that's out here that can barely walk, that can barely go to the store, won't have their Social Security benefits cut. We don't need that. I don't want my grandma from another mama to have her benefits cut. Or if it was my biological grandmother, unfortunately, she's not here. But I don't want her benefits cut. Some people need their Social Security. They need more Social Security. Not none. They need more. They need more Social Security. I feel like if you've worked all your life, and these people have worked all their lives in low-paying jobs, and they finally get to an age that they can get Social Security, and I don't like politics. God leading this because it's not me. But you work all your life, and then you get to that point, and you a grandma, and you probably still raising your little grandkids and great-grandkids just sitting there, and they run around, and they don't listen these days. I know, because I got two of them, and they just be all over the place. I just say, sometimes they move so fast, I don't even see them move. And I be like, what are you doing? They got cookies on the floor. I'm constantly cleaning, but it's a joy to do it. And you will not mess with Social Security. DSNAP, I'm sorry, y'all. Give me some choice words on this, but we cut that off on November the 5th because we need the right candidate in office. So this is your podcaster, Helen. This is not going to be long, but I will ask you, did you remember to check on someone today? Rather it be a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, a homeless person on the street, a clerk in the store. A lot of them holding up these signs, they going through. I know mental health is real. We have to check our mental health. Every day I make sure for myself, because I have been in dark places before. I make sure for myself every day that I check myself. And if I feel like it's an icky feeling coming, I say, Lord, I don't accept this feeling. And I may put on some tunes and listen to it. I'm a grandma, but I still like rap. So I still like my rap music. And so, especially if it has a good beat, it just moves your body. But if you are out there, you see somebody, don't think that they're just telling you, you holding that sign. Mental health is real. A lot of these people can't hold a 9 to 5, 8 to 4, or 7 to 3, 6 to 2, whatever the shift may be. They cannot hold it. So you, as a person that's driving by, if you have a couple of extra bucks, give it to them. I made a game for my podcast, and that was one of them. What would you do if you see a homeless person on the street? And it had some different questions, but the main one was give them a couple bucks because it's going to get them what? A cool, refreshing beverage, a snack, It's going to get them something that they can keep going on. Now, I'm so sorry if they go out there and buy some unauthorized stuff. that's on them. But we did what we felt in our heart, and we gave those people that couple bucks because it really could save a life. It really could. So check on someone. And remember, until the next time, this is your podcaster, Helen. I'm podcasting today. I did one earlier, and that was about the competition that I'm in. And I'm not going to make this podcast about that. This is about voting for the right person on November the 5th. People that's in control of DSNAP, let's shut it down. I should not have walked straight into the voting station doing early voting. Not in the presidential election. The last time I voted early, and it was like the mayor's race and Superior Court judges and stuff, I stood in line for at least 5 minutes. But I did not stand in line this time. And it's a presidential election because people were worried about getting those DSNAPs. And I want them to have them. I want some too. So just remember what's important and go vote. Vote for the right candidate. It's your choice who you vote for. But vote for the person that makes sense, because I don't want my grandma that I inherited to be without her Social Security benefits. Now, this is your podcaster, Helen, from Helen's Podcast. You have an amazing, super fantastic Hump Day Wednesday. I'm glad it's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. And with that being said, I'll take a sip. Hydration is good. Water. Until next time, have a fantastic day. Bye.